Hey everyone, this is Larry. Welcome back to TodayIFeelLike.com. Today we're going to check out the Pixel Voical MC550 microphone for DSLRs and camcorders. Let's go check it out. Alright, so instead of doing my normal unboxing like I do, I'm just going to go ahead and actually just take the microphone out and show you guys what comes inside the box here. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to hook this up and test it out. So there is some instructions in there, the owner's manual. This is the microphone here, so let's get the microphone out. That's all that comes in the box. So we have the microphone, which has the audio cable that plugs into your camera. And it comes with a little wind puff on here that you can take off or replace if you like. And so there we have that. And on the back there is a little switch on here. There's a couple of switches. You have an on-off button and a low-cut switch on the very back here. There's also a minus dB button, so if it's too loud you can actually lower that down by minus 10 dB. But we're going to go ahead and mount this on here. This is a little shock mount. This little section right here is a little shock mount, but we're going to go ahead, put this on the camera, test it out in a couple of different scenarios. So normally right now I'm using my lavalier mic, but we're going to put this on there, see what the difference sounds like between just using the camera audio and then just using the microphone, or using the microphone and just the camera audio. Then we're going to take it outside and see how it performs outside. Now, one thing that I did want to mention before we get started is that this microphone actually requires a AAA battery. So you just open up the compartment right there, and then you can put in a single AAA battery and close it back up there, and then you are ready to go. So they just have to hit the little switch there, and it closes back up, and now you are ready to go, and you can actually turn this on. And when you turn it on, you'll see the light that will go there. It'll be blue or it'll go red. If it's red, the battery's low. If it's blue, that means that it's on and ready to start working. So you guys we have a blue light, so we're ready to go. So let's hook this thing up and test it. Alright, so this first test I'm going to do is just using the microphones from the camera. So I am yay far apart here, and I'm going to just use the camera microphone so you guys can hear what this sounds like. I'm recording with the Sony a7R III. So this is a Sony a7R III DSLR camera, and this is just using the built-in microphones of the Sony. So I'm going to go ahead now and plug in the Pixel Voical MC550 microphone, and we'll see what this sounds like. And this is just inside my little office area. Yeah, so we'll plug this in. We'll see if if there's any difference, and then we're going to take this outside and we're going to use it as if we're blogging and see what the difference is there too. Alright, so now this is using the Pixel MC550 microphone plugged directly into my camera here. So there it is. This is the Pixel MC550 plugged directly into the camera. It's just on. I don't have the low cut filter on. I don't have the negative 10 dB pad on there. So I haven't changed any of the other settings in the camera. So this is going directly into the mic input of my Sony a7R III. And so again, this is the Sony a7R III with the Pixel Voical MC550 microphone hooked directly into it. And I'm in my little office area here, so you guys can hear what that sounds like in comparison to just using the camera microphones. So I'm going to actually go ahead and take this outside, and I'm going to set it up, or I'm just going to shoot with it like I'm vlogging, so you guys can get a little bit of a taste with it, what it sounds like outside. And when I'm a little bit closer to the mic. So, because when I'm vlogging, usually I'm a bit closer to the microphone, so you'll get a taste of what that sounds like there. And I'm just a little sort of rambling on so you guys can get a good audio sample of what this microphone actually sounds like if you were shooting and filming yourself and you had a little bit of distance between you and the camera and a distance between you and the microphone when it's on a tripod, because that's how I'm shooting right now. Alright, so I'm outside here now, and I'm using the microphone again. So I have the microphone hooked up to my camera, and it's a little bit closer because I am using my vlogging lens, which is the 16-35 f4, and so I'm able to actually be fairly close to the camera and to the microphone. Now I am outside. There's a little bit of wind noise. There's some cars driving by, so it's not extra noisy, but this is what you can probably expect if you are vlogging in a normal scenario. Most people don't try and get in places that are way too noisy, but I'm going to actually actually head over to a intersection over here and check that out. But before I do, I'm going to unplug this microphone so we can hear what this sounds like just using the camera audio in this same scenario. Alright, so now I went ahead and unplugged the microphone, and this is just using the built-in microphones of the camera. So again, I'm using the Sony a7R III. These are the built-in microphones of the camera, and I can move in a little bit closer if I like, since I have this nice wide-angle lens on here, and get the microphones a little bit closer to me and get myself a little bit closer to the microphones. But this is the camera audio straight out of the camera, just the microphones built into the camera, nothing special. And so let's actually head over to the intersection now and try this out when we have a much noisier background. Alright, so I'm now here at this busy intersection, and as you guys can probably hear, there is a lot of background noise going on. So let's see how well this microphone actually does at isolating our voice compared to the rest of the ambient sounds around us. There are a lot of cars, it's a little bit windy outside, so there's quite a bit happening here. But this is using the Pixel microphone right now, plugged straight into the camera. So let's go ahead actually now and unplug this microphone and see how the camera does with just the internal microphones. Alright, so I went ahead and unplugged the microphone, and I'm just now using the internal microphones from the Sony a7R camera here. You can hear there's still plenty of traffic. You can see there's cars still zipping by over there. So there's lots of noise in the background. So you'll get a taste to see what this microphone can do, how it isolates my voice, versus the built-in camera audio. So you can decide if you like the built-in camera audio or if you would prefer to have a microphone, which one works better, or if there's any difference, if they're the same, So anyways, I'm also going to go ahead and just record a little bit of audio just with the microphone, not me, just a little bit of ambient noise, so you guys get an idea of what that sounds like as well. This is just the built-in Sony microphones. This is just some of the ambient traffic noise. Alright, so all my serious gearheads out there that may be asking, hey, this is a microphone test, why didn't you go to some place that's super quiet and test everything out and see how quiet the mic is and all that? Well, I don't shoot that way, so I don't test that way. Generally, when I shoot, even in my little office area, it's a little echoey. I don't have a perfectly quiet scenario there. There's a window, so there's cars driving by. I often shoot outside like I'm doing right now, so there's noises with traffic, with water running, with birds, with trees rustling. So there's all kinds of stuff that happens in the background. So I usually like to shoot and test stuff in ways that I actually use the gear. So if I shoot noisy situations like it is right now, I like to test in noisy situations so I can get a real world feel of how the gear performs, and you guys can get a real world feel of how the gear performs. So before we get out of here, I do want to tell you guys there's a couple of things about this microphone that I really like and dislike, and I haven't even actually listened to the microphone yet, so I don't know what it sounds like. I'm actually testing this and doing the review in real time, so I'm going to hear what this sounds like when I go to edit it. But there are a couple of things I like about the microphone itself, just from what I've seen and used. One is that they actually have a 10 dB switch on there, that 10 dB cut or pad, some people call it, that allows you to cut the input levels, the microphone gain, down by negative 10 dB. So if you're in a really loud scenario, maybe you're shooting a concert or you're in a rail yard or in just a lot of traffic noise, you can actually cut down the gain by negative 10 dB coming into the microphone, the input coming into the microphone, so that all of your audio isn't peaking and clipping and blowing out. So you actually can get that nice. Now, the other thing I actually like about this, it has a low-cut filter switch built on there as well. So if you happen to be shooting something that has a constant noise, maybe you have like a low hum of a refrigerator or something like that, you can actually use that low-cut filter to get some of that out of there. And so having both of these on this microphone is really nice. Now, there are a couple of things that I don't like about this microphone as well, and they're not such big deals, but they are a couple of things I thought I would mention. One of them is that it uses a AAA battery. Now, that's not as big of a deal as, you might think. It uses a AAA battery. I would prefer if it used a AA battery. AA batteries are a little bit easier to come by in an emergency. You can often jump into a 7-Eleven or wherever else and find a AA battery. Also, it's a lot cheaper to find rechargeable AA batteries instead of AAA batteries. Now, the other thing is that the windshield actually keeps on slipping a little bit. So I actually turned it a little bit on here so that it's a little bit tighter, but the wind puff that's on there, the little windshield, it keeps on sort of slipping forward a bit on the mic, and I'd really like it if it just stayed put. Now, it didn't come with a dead cat, so I'm not sure if they make one for it, but the windshield, I'm going to find out if it does fairly well, because it's a little bit windy out here right now, and so I'll get to see how this thing actually performs. Alright everyone, so there you have it. That is a look at the Pixel Voical MC550 microphone for DSLRs and camcorders, and I hope this microphone sounds really good. I'm not going to know how it sounds until I'm editing this, because I'm doing sort of a test and first impressions review of this microphone, so we'll see how it sounds together. But there's a few things that I really like about it already right off the bat. Like, I really like the fact that it's small. I like the fact that it has that -10 dB pad on there that you can lower down the mic input levels by -10 dB. I like the fact that it has the low cut filter built onto it. So there's a lot to like on here about this microphone. So now there's a couple things I did like. Again, like, I'm not a big fan of the AAA battery. I'm not a big fan that the wind puff doesn't stay secure as well as I would like it to, but those are really fairly minor things in comparison to the overall microphone itself. So I hope it sounds good, because I'd really like to make this a regular part of my camera kit. So anyhow, I'm going to leave a link to this product in the video description so that you guys can check it out, and I'm going to leave a link to my Amazon page so you guys can see all the products I've reviewed over time. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Facebook. And I am Larry with TodayIFeelLike.com. Thanks for coming back to see me. Come back and see me soon. And until next time, love, peace, and hair grease. Peace.